Hello everyone. I'm really sorry for my poor presentation because I'm doing this by myself and this is my first time doing this and I'm still insisting to tell you my message and because I think my message is very important and I'm not satisfied with the media how the media introduce my problems to the world because um I don't hear the message that I want to hear out here from anyone because the truth is many people wants to know why the answer is violent and why we have to suffer. So I'm here to speak to you on behalf of myself as one of the human victims of the circumstances who suffer, my whole life. I suffer my whole life. I never have peace in my life. I never have the joy in my life. I never have happiness in my life. My whole life. So I cannot continue to wait for someone else to speak for me or for anybody else to represent me. I was not created, tongue-tied by nature. So therefore, my tongue was given to me for a purpose, for the same purpose, for that purpose, so that I can speak what I feel like and what I think. So I have nothing against no one, and I'm not a politician, and I'm not a follower. I'm here to live my life the best way I can live, and I respect others, but I love my own, and I love to protect my own. So my message is that I've always been greedy to claim every piece and every inch of my land because that is my homeland. That's my right. And the truth is I have the rights to rule because it's my homeland. So we allow our ancestors allow these people to lead because we trusted them or whatever the reason that they allowed them to lead at that point when they came from their own territories to come to our territories. We accepted them. We accepted the trade with them. We accepted business with them. We accepted to live with them. We loved them. And half of us converted to Islam. Many of us don't have problems with the religion because this is not a religion war. This is not even a political war. This is not uh this is not even a civil war. The definition of this war is totally different because we fighting. The truth is we fighting against the whole race of Arab nation because the government of the northern Sudan have been helped and supported by every Arab country for decades since the independence of Sudan. So the revolution started way too long before the independence until up to 2005 we have something called peace. But that is not peace. The truth is that's not peace. Because peace comes through justice. And if there is justice, we should have power sharing and wealth sharing. Because that is our home. But I never heard in anywhere in the world something called second vice president. Because if you put me as a vice president, if anything go wrong with the president, I will lead. But you don't want to give me the chance to lead my own homeland because I'm going to lead it the African way. But if it's the Arab way, you can't allow me to lead because you're trying to turn this nation into the Arab nation. You're supposed to fall in a line with the African for the best interest of African. Then we will welcome you. But if you don't want to fall in line, you want us to fall in a line with you. It doesn't make any sense because we are 51 nation. We are too powerful, we are too big for you to come and dominate us. See, the truth is that you want to dominate the world, but you can't dominate the world through us because we are awake and we know the truth. Everybody know the truth. So now it's I think it's the time for us to come to divorce because we've been married for so long. We've been together for so long. So now I'm tired. I suffer a lot, and I never think that we will find any solution but to be separate nation. So we can be family, but everybody have to have your own house. You have to have your own place. So we have to mark down now the territories, and we have to claim our power now to be our own nation, because we can't be a nation without a country. So therefore we have to separate now, and it makes sense. I always want to claim the whole country, but I don't blame many of my people why they want to separate, because we tired. We realize that it's never gonna work. So we have to be on our own now. But even though we are too small in the south, fighting against the whole nation of Arab nation, but our brothers sooner or later they will start to feel and smell the blood, the innocent blood, and they will stand behind us, and we're rising into our power. Every piece of it that you ever took from us, and every blood that you ever dropped from us, we're gonna claim them. We want your blood sooner or later, and your blood, that's what our redemption. That's the redemption. We want to be redeemed. You can't expect me to have mercy because I am not your God. I am just a, a person just like you. I have every right to live in this world just like you. So why can't we agree to just this simple concept of let's live in peace and love and unity instead of evil? Every religion is turning into something evil. Why you have to praise the name of God to kill people, to take life, and you call it that faith? That is not faith. How can you slave human and call it that faith? You know God. If you don't believe in humanity, why do you claim the name of God? When you go against humanity and you're here for destruction, you're not here to build and do God work, to love others and respect others and live your life the best way you can live and practice your faith in everything you do. Why you can't do that when you tell me that you're an advanced world? You want to dominate. You can't dominate with evil. Nobody embrace evil. Nobody sell the stories of Hitler today, except maybe few individuals that choose to do evil work. And that's what I think we make balance, evil and good. But always good is confidence in the victory, because the wicked will always fall. So, but if we live in peace and love and unity, we can come to understand that there is a conference that is very important conference, interracial conference. Until that interracial conference is called, then I think there will be peace in the world. Because if you don't give me peace in Africa, there is no peace exists anywhere in the world. Because we are part of the world. The world is coming together. We may not live long enough to see it, but it's coming together. Because as you think about it, we scattered all over the world. We speak every language in the world. And we giving birth everywhere we go. But it doesn't mean that we're going to change. we will still be the same people. That's why we have to come back to our senses now and say, okay, it makes sense why these people need to separate it. Because you nobody can respect you if you don't have your own race and pride. Nobody will respect you if you don't have your own power and dignity. Nobody will even acknowledge your existence if you don't acknowledge your own power. So it is very good that we have to come back to humble ourselves and stop blaming each other. So sometimes we might blame the leadership, we might blame the politicians, we might blame the religious, but at the end of the day, the world is moving on and the history is still recording itself. So it doesn't matter who wins today and who loses tomorrow. What matters is the journey, you know, and the journey is a long journey, way ahead of us, and it was way, way behind us. So no one's lived forever, and no one's can overpower the nature and overpower the power of Jah. No one. No one can change the creation because nations are nations. You can't change them. Why do you think the Asian people chose to pray into their God they built with their own hand? And no one tell them nothing about that. Nobody call them infidel and running after them because you can't mess with them. You know the power they got. They build half of the world. The Chinese people. That's the power they have. And that's why they have that much population. And that's why they're doing that much great work. And they're doing great things in this world with that God that they worship. And a lot of people, even the Arab nations, are willing to work with Chinese people, with the Asian people who don't believe in God. How do you do business with people like that in your own land? And you come after us poor people and tell us that we're infidel. When we know God, the only mistake that we realized that we did is that we accepted God through other people as spectacles. And we left our own way of knowing God, of our own creation. Because if it's the same God that gives source of life to everyone, is the source of life for every human or every creature, then who are we? We are the same people. As a matter of fact, we are the one that show the world the concept of God. Check your history. It tell you where life begun. Even the science agree to that. Check your history. And mark my word, I'm telling you nothing but the truth. So now, what I've been talking about, unity and unity and unity, I'm not talking about unity with the Arab nation. Because you will never accept me as an African. As long as I converted to Islam, you still not accepting me as an African. I have to change my name from African name to an Arab name so that I become the best Muslim. Why do I have to change my name when I'm believing in God, when I'm believing in Muhammad? What's that have to do with my name? What's that have to do with my race and my nationality? It doesn't make any sense. You take advantage of people who don't know nothing. But we know the truth. The truth is that you have to humble yourself and realize that you cannot manipulate anybody. You cannot play games with anybody anymore. Game times is over. It's time now to divorce you. We've been married for too long. And now we have to mark down our territories. And when you invaded the territories, everybody have the rights to defend themselves. Because you violated human rights, and you violated human rights for so long.